Hi everyone, my name is Andy Stevens. I am a change consultant who works in the charity sector. So what I'm talking through today is part 2 of a video that I shared previously about responsibility assignment matrix. In part 1, I talked about why you'd use them, what they actually are, and some of the definitions used. So in part 2, I'm going to share an example and share also how they are used in practice, where they can be very useful for you. So here is an example. We are looking at the Wizard of Oz story and around who is involved in different tasks. So we have the different characters across the top. So each column is a character, and then on each of the rows is a task. So for example, looking at following the yellow brick road, Dorothy is ultimately accountable and responsible for that task, but she consults the other characters during the journey who help engage and inform exactly how that goes about. So there's some two-way communication going on. When there's the task of killing the Wicked Witch of the West, again, the accountability sits with Dorothy. It's ultimately her leading the group, but they're all involved in that, so they're all responsible for it. And finally, when they have achieved that and they get their rewards back, it is the Wizard of Oz that is both accountable and responsible for giving the rewards. And there's one-way communication from that because the others are informed by getting their rewards, so they are all informed, hence the I in all of their columns. How can this be used beyond the Wizard of Oz? So you can apply this in a number of situations. It can help provide clarity with what a team is doing now. So if there's any confusion around that, documenting that clearly. When you're implementing any new systems or new processes, it's a way of documenting what tasks there are and who are involved. Also, if there's any transition or changing of roles, this can be very useful in documenting both the before and the after. Even if you're not at this point anticipating change roles, it can be useful to look at how you're working currently and give you some ideas of how you may want to work more efficiently in the future. What I've also noticed is by completing this, it sometimes prompts further questions and discussions that need follow-up, which can help improve some areas, particularly around kind of making tasks and process flows more efficient. So is it difficult to identify who's accountable and responsible? Is there high workload levels, particular roles? That would indicate there's potential bottlenecks in processes or someone being overloaded. Do those involved differ significantly for related tasks? So sometimes when you see, for example, the R jump between different roles and different teams quite rapidly backwards and forwards in each stage of a task, sometimes that can be vaguely justified, but also should tasks be moved around so all team carries out most of their tasks first before moving to another team? And finally, do you need all the R's, the C's and the I's, so they're responsible, the consultant and informed? Do they all need to be there? Can less people be involved to get the task done to the same quality that you have now? So that's what I'm covering in part 2. You've had an example and you've had some ideas of how you can use that in practice. Please do get in contact if you have any questions, and you can also check out other articles and resources on my website. Thank you, everyone.